Emerald, dangerous, completely unforgettable. On the Oscars red carpet, green isn't just a color, it's a risk. One wrong shade and it's a fashion disaster. But when it works, it creates iconic history-making moments. From shocking, controversial gowns that critics hated at first, to breathtaking masterpieces that defined entire eras of fashion, these looks didn't just walk the red carpet, they changed it forever. In this video, we're counting down the top 15 best green dresses at the Oscars. Nicole Kidman, 1997. Forget everything you know about safe red carpet choices, because in 1997, Nicole Kidman didn't just walk the Oscars, she redefined them. Before this moment, the Academy Awards were a sea of boring black and predictable beige. Then, Nicole stepped out in this electrifying chartreuse silk masterpiece. This wasn't just a dress, it was a high-fashion hand grenade designed by the legendary John Galliano for Christian Dior. But here's the wild part. Everyone hated it at first. The legendary Joan Rivers literally gagged on live TV, screaming that the color was ugly. But Nicole was playing the long game. This absinthe gown was a total flex of European haute couture, dripping in chinoiserie-inspired floral embroidery and featuring a lethal thigh-high slit lined with, get this, genuine mink fur, valued at a jaw-dropping $2 million. It was one of the most expensive garments to ever grace the pavement. It completely shifted the DNA of celebrity styling forever. While the critics were busy being confused, Nicole was busy making history in the most talked-about ugly dress of all time. Kate Winslet, 1998. Fresh off the massive success of Titanic, Kate Winslet didn't just show up, she arrived as fashion royalty. While everyone expected her to play it safe, Kate pulled the ultimate power move by commissioning the bad boy of fashion himself, Alexander McQueen, to create a custom Givenchy masterpiece. This wasn't just a gown, it was a total lockdown. Kate actually requested that McQueen not dress a single other nominee that night, ensuring all eyes were strictly on her. The result was a breathtaking emerald green, silk-embroidered sculpture that looked like it was pulled straight from an enchanted forest. The dress was dripping in intricate gold threadwork, featuring a mystical dragonfly motif and vine-like designs that snaked down into a regal train. But here's the beauty is pain reality. Kate later admitted the dress was so tightly constructed and rigid that it was nearly impossible to sit down. She spent the night literally squeezed into a work of art, with her hair tossed into voluminous Rose DeWitt Beaucouture-inspired curls. She proved that a little discomfort is a small price to pay for a look that remains legendary nearly 30 years later. Jennifer Lopez, 2003. If you think J.Lo is all about the jungle dress, think again. In 2003, she completely flipped the script and delivered an absolute clinic in sophisticated elegance. Walking the carpet with Ben Affleck, Jennifer swapped the daring cutouts for a mint green Valentino masterpiece that is still hailed as one of the most timeless looks in Oscar history. This wasn't just a random pick from the rack, it was a total fashion homage. Valentino Garavani designed this gown as a direct tribute to a legendary look worn by Jackie Kennedy in 1967. The sari-style silhouette featured a single graceful drape over her shoulder that made her look like a literal Grecian goddess. The hem of the layered skirt was finished with delicate white lace embroidery for that perfect touch of vintage romance. To pull the whole minty fresh vibe together, Jennifer actually committed to matching mint green eyeshadow, a move that looked absolutely flawless with her sleek, slicked-back bun. It was the ultimate pivot that showed the world J.Lo was a true style chameleon. Jennifer Lopez, 2006. Think you can't find an Oscar-worthy gem in a vintage shop? Jennifer proved that old is the new gold when she stepped out in a stunning olive green silk chiffon gown that sent the fashion world into a frenzy. This wasn't just a dress, it was a museum-grade artifact from 1959, plucked straight from the archives of the king of draping, Jean Dezes. Sourced from the legendary Beverly Hills boutique Lily Etsy, this look was a total flex of fashion insider knowledge. The craftsmanship here is absolutely mind-blowing. The gown used a staggering 50 yards of silk chiffon, all meticulously ruched and pleated into a Grecian-inspired one-shoulder silhouette that looked like liquid movement. It hugged her frame with a structured bust line, before flowing into an ethereal, sweeping skirt that made her look like a literal statue brought to life. Jennifer leaned into the vintage theme by dripping herself in Fred Leighton diamonds, including massive golden diamond pendant earrings that screamed 1950s Hollywood glamour. With her hair swept into a voluminous, sleek updo and her signature bronze skin glowing against that deep, mossy green, she didn't just attend the Oscars, she showed everyone how to pull off archival excellence. Critics still rank this as one of her most sophisticated moments ever, proving that true style is timeless. Amy Adams, 2008. If you want to know how to win a red carpet without saying a word, look at Amy Adams in 2008. While she was at the Oscars to perform Happy Working Song from Enchanted, she looked less like a fairy tale princess and more like a high-fashion bombshell. She rocked a custom Proenza Schooler gown in a rich, jewel-toned emerald silk that was practically vibrating against her signature ginger hair. The design was all about that lethal combination of classic and streamlined. It featured a strapless, corseted bodice with a sweetheart neckline that sculpted her frame perfectly before flowing into a sharp fishtail skirt. It was old Hollywood glamour, but stripped of all the fluff and updated for the modern age. But check the details. She didn't overcomplicate things. She let that heavy emerald green do the heavy lifting, pairing it with Fred Leighton diamond drop earrings that added just enough sparkle to catch the stage lights. With her hair swept into soft, romantic ginger waves, and a pair of Jimmy Choo heels hidden under that sweeping train, Amy proved that sometimes the most powerful move is just a killer silhouette and the perfect color palette. Emma Stone, 2015. When Emma Stone hit the 2015 red carpet as a first-time nominee for Birdman, she didn't just show up, she glowed. She pulled off one of the gutsiest color moves in Oscar history by wearing a custom Elie gown in a vibrant, almost neon chartreuse. This yellow-green shade is notoriously difficult to wear, but on Emma, it was absolute magic against her auburn hair. This wasn't your average sparkly dress. Lebanese couturier Elie Saab went all out on the craftsmanship, creating a floor-length masterpiece of sheer fabric, drowning in intricate beading and sequins. It featured a sophisticated long-sleeve design and ornate cuffs, but the real wow moments were the sultry thigh-high slit and a daring open back that gave the look a serious edge. Emma kept the high-fashion energy going with a pair of matching green peep-toe Christian Louboutins and a stunning diamond cuff from the Tiffany & Company. It was a bold, high-contrast look that proved Emma isn't afraid to take risks, and that chartreuse might just be her superpower. Scarlett Johansson, 2015. Just 5 months after giving birth, Scarlett Johansson didn't just return to the red carpet, she practically conquered it. She showed up at the 2015 Oscars looking like a futuristic warrior queen in a custom Atelier Versace gown that was pure, unfiltered energy. The color? A deep, luscious emerald green that demanded every camera lens in the building find her immediately. The architecture of this dress was wild. It featured a sleek halter-style plunge, but the real showstopper was the massive built-in collar that was hand-embroidered with a staggering 2,000 Swarovski crystals. It looked less like fabric and more like a suit of high-fashion armor, but Scarlett didn't stop at the dress. She leaned into an edgy rock star aesthetic with her hair, rocking closely shorn sides and a slicked-back blonde pompadour that gave the whole look a sharp, modern bite. And the jewelry? Absolute insanity. She wore a Piaget pink gold ear cuff dripping with nearly 300 diamonds, emeralds, and aquamarines. Finished off with matching green heels and a Jimmy Choo clutch, this look was a total knockout that proved Scarlett isn't just an actress. She's a style force to be reckoned with. She took green with envy and turned it into a high-glam reality. Rachel McAdams, 2016. If you want to see 1990s minimalism done with a 21st century edge, look no further than Rachel McAdams at the 2016 Oscars. Celebrating her big nomination for Spotlight, Rachel stepped out in a custom August Getty atelier gown that was the definition of lethally simple. Crafted from a heavy, high-shine emerald silk satin, the dress looked like liquid forest green poured directly onto her frame. The design was all about the wow factor from every angle. It featured a sleek, halter neckline that led into a completely backless design, flowing down into a train so long and dramatic it needed its own zip code. But the real star of the show? A daring, sky-high, thigh-high slit that gave us the ultimate leg bomb moment on the carpet. To keep that leg line looking infinite, she slipped into Silver Stuart Weitzman nudist sandals, the ultimate minimalist heel. Rachel's beauty squad kept the vibe strictly high fashion, pulled a genius move by using emerald green eyeliner to make her eyes pop against the silk. With her hair tucked into a sleek, textured knot inspired by 90s supermodel Amber Valletta, Rachel proved that you don't need 10,000 crystals to own the room. Sometimes, all you need is a killer slit, a massive train, and the perfect shade of green. Saoirse Ronan 2016. When Saoirse Ronan hit the 2016 red carpet for her Brooklyn nomination, she didn't just wear a dress. She wore a love letter to Ireland. She tapped Francisco Costa for Calvin Klein collection to create this custom emerald green sequined masterpiece that sparkled like the Irish coastline under a spotlight. This look was all about youthful sophistication. The floor-length gown was drenched in shimmering green scales and featured a sharp, plunging V-neckline that felt totally modern. But turn her around and you'd see the delicate detail work. Thin velvet straps crisscrossing over a daringly low, open back. The coolest part? Saoirse went totally rogue with her jewelry, rocking mismatched chopard drop earrings. One ear featured a massive 18-karat explosion of emeralds and jadeite, while the other was a classic pearl, a move that felt high fashion and rebellious all at once. This choice of green wasn't a coincidence either. It was a sentimental callback to the dress she wore to her very first Oscars at just 13 years old. Paired with Roger Vivier heels and that undeniable Irish pride, Saoirse proved that staying true to your roots is the ultimate style flex. Jada Pinkett Smith, 2022. If you want to talk about main character energy, we have to talk about Jada Pinkett Smith's 2022 appearance. She didn't just show up to the Oscars, she brought an entire atmosphere with her in this Jean-Paul Gaultier haute couture explosion. Designed by the visionary Glenn Martins, this wasn't your typical red carpet gown. It was a high-fashion structural marvel in a deep, moody emerald green. The top half was all about precision, featuring a high neck and long sleeves with unique scuba-like ruche texture that hugged her frame. But from the waist down, total drama. The dress erupted into an oversized, gravity-defying skirt made of endless rows of ruffles. Fun fact, the train was originally so massive and textured that it actually had to be trimmed down just so she could physically walk the carpet. Jada leaned into the monochromatic vibe, pairing the look with matching emerald peep-toe platforms by Jimmy Choo and architectural diamond earrings from G Jewels. To finish it off, her makeup artist used shimmery green eyeshadow to mirror the fabric, creating a look that was fierce, avant-garde, and absolutely unforgettable. Molly Sims, 2023. When Molly Sims stepped onto the 2023 red carpet, she proved that old Hollywood still knows how to party in the modern age. She looked like a mid-century emerald dream in a custom creation by Lebanese couturier Georges Chakra. This wasn't just a standard gown. It was a high-contrast play on texture and skin. The vibrant emerald green fabric shimmered under the flashbulbs, perfectly capturing that rich, jewel-toned energy that dominated the night. The design featured a sleeveless silhouette with a sharp, bold cutout on the bodice that gave the classic look a spicy, contemporary edge. But the real hook was the accessory game. Molly draped a matching sheer shawl over her arms that was finished with a massive feathery trim. It added a layer of old-school flair and movement that made her look like she was floating down the carpet. To keep the focus on that striking green, she carried a sleek Jimmy Choo bag and wore towering Stuart Weitzman heels. Escorted by her husband, Netflix chairman Scott Stuber, Molly turned the Oscars into her own personal runway, proving that when you combine a killer jewel tone with a bit of featherlight drama, you get a look that people will be talking about for years. Kate Hudson, 2026. If you want to talk about a literal glow-up, we have to discuss Kate Hudson's 2026 Oscar appearance. Nominated for Best Actress for Song Sung Blue, Kate didn't even finalize this look until the morning of the show. She plucked a masterpiece straight from Giorgio Armani's Jade collection, and the result was a glittering mermaid moment that basically broke the internet. This jade green Armani Privé bustier gown was a structural flex, featuring a plunging sweetheart neckline and a sharp peplum waist that looked like high-fashion architecture. The entire dress was drowning in stone and crystal embroidery, giving it a heavy, luxurious texture that shimmered like sunlight on deep water. But hold on to your seats, because the jewelry is where things get truly insane. Kate was dripping in over 41 carats of rare green diamonds from Garati, including a 15-carat deep green diamond ring, with the whole set valued at a mind-blowing $35 million. To balance out that astronomical sparkle, her stylist Sophie Lopez went with silver Aquazzura pumps and a matching Acris clutch. Her beauty squad kept the goddess vibes going with old Hollywood soft waves and a luminous, bronze-toned, glowing glam makeup look. Even her nails were extra, featuring a diamond dust-infused polish that ensured she was sparkling down to her fingertips. Jessica Chastain, 2022 Vanity Fair Oscar Party. Okay, I know this list is technically all about the main Oscars stage, but I have to talk about this one because it is personally my favorite look of all time, and she looked absolutely stunning. Fresh off her massive Best Actress win for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Jessica Chastain didn't just go to the Vanity Fair after party. She arrived in a total victory lap of pure glamour. She swapped her ceremony dress for a custom Gucci silk lame gown in a tropical emerald green that was specifically engineered to make her iconic red hair look like it was on fire. This dress was all about that high-octane shimmer. The draped liquid-like fabric featured a structured bustier bodice and a meticulously pleated ruched skirt that flowed into a perfect mermaid silhouette. It wasn't just a dress, it was a shimmering emerald ocean wrapped around her. But the real mic drop moment was the jewelry. Jessica rocked a legendary Gucci high jewelry lion head necklace, a heavy hitter crafted from 18 KT white gold and dripping with opals, tanzanites, and diamonds. To transition from award winner to party queen, she let her hair down into a cascade of soft, romantic curls, a total 180 from the sleek ponytail she wore during the main event. Stepping onto the blue carpet with her brand new Oscar in hand, Jessica proved that the only thing better than winning the big prize is looking like an emerald-toned goddess, while you celebrate it. Charithra Chandran, 2026. For her massive Oscars debut, Bridgerton star Charithra Chandran didn't just walk the carpet, she owned it in a look that was pure architectural poetry. She chose a breathtaking bottle green silk duchess gown by the rising star of Couture, Miss Sohee. This wasn't just a dress, it was a structural marvel from the Spring-Summer 2024 collection that proved deep green is the ultimate color for a breakout moment. The silhouette was all about high-drama precision. It featured a sculpted sweetheart neckline and a corseted bodice that cinched her waist into a perfect hourglass. But the real stop-and-stare feature? An oversized sculptural bow at the back that exploded into a voluminous floor-sweeping train. It was the kind of dress that looked just as incredible walking away as it did coming toward the cameras. Charithra also used her spotlight for a powerful message, prominently wearing a red Artist for Ceasefire pin to join the global call for peace. To keep the focus on the gown's vibrant hue and her activism, stylist Holly White kept the jewelry classic with a single-string Chopard diamond necklace. With a sleek center-parted updo and a sultry brown smoky eye, Charithra delivered a look that was equal parts sophisticated, meaningful, and high-fashion magic. So which green look completely owned the red carpet for you? Was it the risk-taking moment by Nicole Kidman, the timeless elegance of Jennifer Lopez, or the powerful statement made by Viola Davis? One thing is clear: green isn't just a color, it's a statement of confidence, individuality, and fearless fashion. If you love this countdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more iconic red carpet moments. And tell me in the comments, which color should we rank next? Maybe purple, orange, or even metallic tones like bronze?